Hello everyone, this is Relic Jones, and I get to actually talk about a personal book that I wrote. I'm going to talk about the elaborate lore behind a children's book? Yeah, let's talk about it. Talk about Derpy the Dinosaur in total, not just Snow Day, and how in a small little picture book I'm setting up my overarching universe of all my fiction books. So, yeah. So I believe that as a writer I want to connect all of my stories regardless of what it is. Even stuff like my non-fiction books will be non-fiction books within my fiction universe. So you may have people talk about, yeah, I grew up with Name Above All Names ABC book. That's just how I learned my ABCs. Or, yeah, I read this book, Antidote for Lukewarm Church, and just didn't like it. It was terrible. It was ungodly, or whatever. But yeah, but starting with children's books about lore, yes. So my overarching universe idea is I'm calling the Frayed Universe. This is a kind of multiversal theory that I'm playing out. What if there was one universe at one point, and horrible events, these terrible catastrophes caused breaks in the timeline, causing parallel universes to come up. But every single universe has this theory eventually, this idea, that all of them will come back together for one climactic event. Like frayed rope. Not broken rope, still connected, but there's a fray point. And these side universes come off. So Derpy the Dinosaur is about dinosaurs. How's that connecting everything? About talking dinosaurs, mind you. Well, it's early in the timeline. Eventually I'll have a timeline thing, and I'm going to talk about a few projects that are on the table, hopefully slated for this year. So, Derpy the Dinosaur is extremely early in the timeline. Yes, I happen to be a Christian, and I am basing it off of Judeo-biblical Genesis-esque archetypes, but we do play with it. The next book that I'm planning to come out, it's in the editing phases, is a book called The Seed of Lamech. Go ahead and look up Lamech. If you're not even that big into the Bible, it's very interesting lore to go into. There are two Lameches, actually. The first one is from the line of Cain, which is just generically the bad guys. I use them in the book. He's the first polygamist recorded, which isn't very good. He kind of mocks the curse of Cain in it, but his children are recorded to be the first tent makers, the first masons and like metallurgists, metal workers, the first bard or musician maker, and then there's a daughter that they don't really give a particular art that she brought into the world, but I generically put it as textiles, as in like knitting, yarn, weaving, and stuff like that within the book, Seeds of Lamech. There is a second Lamech, which is the father of Noah, which is going to be a Noah-based story with Nephilim and evil technology being used, and yes, there will be an ark built, but interesting ways the animals are brought in, but we're getting off topic. Let's go to this. So in Seed of Lamech, there's these four main characters, which are the children of Lamech, one being a bard and one being a metallurgist, which makes this big stone town, this tent maker, which started a tent village that becomes the stone town, and this their sister who makes textiles. And eventually a lot of them have this encounter with this demonic presence that is ready to destroy the town and destroy humanity just because reasons, and I hope you can hear all those steps. That is probably my son walking, but oh well. And I wrote Derpy the Dinosaur pretty much for him. So this town gets built and destroyed, and at the end of the book it said, and many strange and wonderful creatures only found within this forest, because the forest brings up, because also the tent maker was a farmer if you will. He had the ability to kind of communicate with animals. I give them all little magical abilities, and then throughout all the books, these magical abilities will be brought up. So the town, and the town is eventually the town in which Derpy the Dinosaur, the talking animals, actually inhabit. So that's how it connects. So it goes from like Genesis, the world was made, Lamech introduces this magical power, and also the land of the talking animals, which occupies this fallen city. And that's how it's connected. I really wish the steps would stop. That's how it's overall connected in this thing called the Frayed Universe. As a little side note, a bonus video if you've actually stayed around. Derpy the Dinosaur was started just from the concept, the idea. Let's back it up a little bit. Me and my son were playing around with little dinosaur toys. I was trying to introduce him to dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. He personally does not. He is a robot fan. I don't know why, but he likes it. We had a little Apatosaurus toy, and I would just go around with it going derp to derp 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 to derp, and it would fall over. And it just struck me, how terrifying would it be if one was clumsy? These things are like the size of two buses, right? And multi-stories tall. If it would fall, that would be horrifying. That's why Derpy the Dinosaur came to be. A very clumsy dinosaur. Hopefully gets less clumsy throughout the years. And that's also how it connects to the overarching storyline of the Frayed Universe. And eventually, hopefully look out for Seeds of Lamech. I've already had a video about Seeds of Lamech from like 3 years ago. This is a long overdue book for me to have done. It does a lot of setup for the rest of them. Derpy the Dinosaur will also be connected to a book that's coming out here shortly called Dan and Trace Through Time and Space, Time Travel. They will eventually talk to him, and you'll eventually see them in Derpy the Dinosaur as Derpy's imaginary caveman friend. Those steps are getting rather annoying, but yes. So this was Relic Jones just talking about the lore. Fitting, but before, Derpy the Dinosaur, because the book itself just derped off the shelf. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more book content. We also have Let's Plays. We have interactive stories. We talk about D&D a lot. Video games and stuff. So if you like this, like and subscribe. You want to support the channel, there'll be links to like all 6 of my books. Please buy the books. It's a very easy way to support the channel and get something back very quick. You get a physical copy, you get the digital free. I pretty much like that. Most of my digital copies are about $3. Physicals are trying to stay around $8. And this was just Relic Jones wanting to talk about my own book. It's a little conceited, but free advertisement. And this is Relic Jones signing out. Peace.